Hello, this is Lisa Russick and Misty Lore with the podcast We're All Psychic. And today we have a very total stranger guest. Of course, they're all total strangers, mostly. So we'd like to welcome Christine to the show. Christine, would you like to say hello?
Hi, everybody. Thank you guys so much for having me.
No, thank you for coming. And Misty, would you like to ask her the question?
Oh gosh, yes, I would. Okay,
so
Christine, I would like to ask you, do you think that we're all psychic?
Absolutely. I think we're all psychic.
And how did you get to that conclusion?
Well, I believe that everyone has a certain amount of psychic ability. I feel that some are more psychic than others, and the ones that are more psychic than others are exercising it all the time.
Yeah.
And I have been doing psychic readings for over 30 years now. So, of course, over the years, I've seen lots and lots of people from all over, basically. And they have told me about experiences that they've had. And either through dreams or feelings or premonition or visions that have actually happened that, and they don't really use their psychic ability. These were things that just popped up at random. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that as human beings, I believe, of course, there's a higher power that does send us messages.
Yeah.
When stuff like either we're being warned or, sending a message about something good that's going to happen, important stuff. I think we all get those messages. Not every time, though, because like I said, I feel that we that work as psychics probably exercise it a lot more than the person who doesn't. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Mhm.
So what have you always, were you raised in with this kind of being normal, a lot normalized being listeners, if you don't know, she's a psychic.
Normal. Because we're not.
I do psychic readings. So my grandmother did used to do what I do now and do readings for her friends, for clients, but she wasn't as public or as, like had like a shop sort of thing. She would do it from her house and kind of word of mouth. But yes, she was very good at using her gift.
That's really great. Did you learn anything from her when you were little, or did you just start out?
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
She recognized that I had a stronger psychic ability than the average person. So she did help me to hone it, tell me how to use it, don't be afraid of it, because initially, and I still believe that everybody is psychic. Everybody has psychic abilities. So when these things would come to me or visions or feelings about stuff, I thought, of course, that everybody did, but it was happening to me a lot. That was the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and you noticed it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, she did anyway. I just thought it was
just like, this is how it is.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, she helped me. Yes. And I started doing readings really young. I guess she wanted me to get adjusted to being able to do that, talk to people and tell them what I feel early in life, so I wouldn't be afraid to do it and be able to use my gift to help people.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, it was tough when I was young because of course, telling adult grown people, and I was just a little kid, was a little scary. Yeah. But I was
I
was well received. Thank God for that.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So listeners, Christine wanted to talk about some manifestation today on the podcast, and anything else that comes up that you want to talk about, Christine. feel free. So she says she wants to teach and help people. So she can teach you this techniques that she knows. And I think that's about what you were going for. I think it was kind of hard to, when I read the website, it was like 2 weeks ago, and everything's just been on full like go, 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 in my life. And I didn't reread it. So, but I just remember like, that.
Yeah, so manifesting is really a wonderful thing, and some of us even do it without realizing it.
Misty was like that.
Yeah,
Can
I do a lot of
manifest.
stupid things though.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like parking spaces. It's just stupid. I'm like, why can't you do it that way? Why can't you do it big? Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
need to
well,
know. How to
some
do it
people,
big.
you can absolutely do that. And there are tools also that we can use to consciously manifest what we want or what we're hoping for. I think the biggest interference of being able to manifest successfully is if we're downhearted or are in a negative mindset.
That makes
That
sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that can have a negative impact on us being able to do that, because when we're in good spirits and we feel good and clear and all that good stuff, that energy is actually used basically to start manifesting.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, a positive energy draws more positive energy to itself.
Yeah.
Okay, they click like a magnet, pulls
Right.
together. Yeah. And when we get a goal in our minds or a vision in our mind of what it is that we wish to achieve, not only does our body kind of move toward that, sometimes without realizing it, but that energy goes out into the heavens and opens the way for us to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically the universe rises up to support you. If it's a goal that is for the greater good or for good, then yes, we will get that support from the universe.
I agree.
And getting back to being in a mindset of negativity and how that could interfere with being able to manifest anything successfully is, if you're in that kind of mindset, actually you want to do the total opposite. You want to stop yourself from manifesting, because
Yes.
the way positive attaches itself to more positive, negative will do the same, and we start manifesting stuff to support the negative state of mind that we're in.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You see
Oh,
people
yes.
all the time that have that negative attitude towards life. And they're like, well, this just isn't going to work. And da 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 da. And guess what? It never does work for them because they are so negative. I see it
100.
all the time.
And they
So
notice
do
the
I.
negatives as well. And they
Yeah.
will, they'll focus on it.
They
And then they'll
manifest
notice more.
negativity.
And then they'll just
I
make
believe
stuff
that
that's
they're
not negative.
manifesting. They manifest that negativity, Misty.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
agree.
Why do you think it's a habit? Do you think it's a habit for people to do that?
100%.
Yeah.
That's why I wish to help people that are feeling that way or thinking that way, because there is a fix for it, actually.
Yeah.
People that are in this type of negative mindset are actually spending way too much time in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
they're becoming weaker and weaker spiritually. So, I'm sure you've heard mind, body, spirit, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when and they need to be balanced because they all work together. The mind, the body, and the spirit work together. So if we're too much in the head, in our minds and thinking and spinning around in circles, what happens is that we start to neglect ourselves physically, which puts us in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And we start to become weaker spiritually as well. So we start to spiritually starve because we're not, believing and receiving. We're not really having faith and hope, because that all comes from the spirit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I
So,
do.
maybe if you go to church or if you're practicing something you believe in, then you're having it heals the soul. I try to advise people, whatever it is that you believe in spiritually, whether you're just spiritual or practice any religion, please do the stuff that you're supposed to do to exercise that spiritual energy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Exercise it.
It's
Yes.
very meaningful.
There's lots of ways
It
you can
is.
do that. Yes.
Sure. And then I was going to talk about some tools that people can use to manifest. And I'm sure you've also heard of these. They're called manifestation candles. Have you
Okay.
guys heard of those?
Yeah.
Like
I haven't heard of them put
candles.
that way before. I've used candles for manifestation, like little chime candles or spell candles, but I've
Exactly.
never heard of them put like that phrase. I've never heard it before.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing. But
Okay.
yeah.
It is
It's
the
the same
same
thing you
It
taught
is
me.
Exactly. Yes, it
Okay.
is the same thing. So if you've done that, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So you get your candle and you're going to get like an essential oil, or you can even use like an olive oil or any type of, natural oil is fine. And you get the candle in your hands, you start rubbing that oil into the candle. And then you start to visualize what it is that you want to manifest. So that energy is actually going into the candle. And every time you're lighting that candle, it actually triggers that manifestation, that prayer, that energy. So that definitely helps with manifesting and,
Yes.
holding crystals in your hands and basically going into a meditation state. It works wonders.
Yeah, and it can make you feel better if you are in that
Oh,
negative
yeah.
space to try to get out of it.
Mhm.
Think about the positive and get into that meditative state and work with your candle. I know if I'm feeling, negative or I'm in a bad place, sometimes I will light a candle to get myself out of that headspace, like a yellow candle,
Yep.
get out of my
That
head,
works.
start
That
being
works.
positive,
Oh,
get optimistic,
yeah.
and actually doing the process and lighting the candle works, just
Oh,
about
it
every time.
does. Because you're actually practicing something spiritually that you believe in. That's
Right.
my point. Now look at all the positive things that you're doing in these simple actions. You're strengthening yourself spiritually, getting yourself out of a dark mindset as a result. You're
Yes.
connecting to a higher power.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Your spirit is showing itself. You know what I mean? Another thing that I
Yeah.
tell people, and that's why it's so important to take an action, because
I
that
agree.
that also is very meaningful to, the universe, the
And
higher.
for some people, like speaking words is very like speaking it is important. Like, when they're doing a candle or something, they're thinking a certain phrase or something, not just the visual techniques. I just know some people talk about the actual word, like having
Yeah.
words. They're usually word people, they're writers or they like words, poets and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I've heard of
Whatever
that.
works for you. Yeah.
Well, anything that you're doing spiritually that's taking it kind of out of you and bringing it into this dimension.
Yeah.
For example, I tell people to sometimes work on a prayer list or a wish list, because it's kind of getting out of your head and into this realm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
The
a
same
good
way
point.
people write goals down. They do
Yeah.
the same thing.
Exactly.
You're going for your goals. You're writing it down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a miracle when we start to make these goals or wish list or prayer list, whatever it is that you wish to call it, how, suddenly it just comes into being one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go to reflect back on it a couple of years later, and you like forgot about it, and you say to yourself, dang, that happened.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
way it happened was not
Yeah.
exactly how I pictured, but kinda.
Yeah,
That's really where you,
exactly.
like a little details were.
Exactly.
I should have been really specific, but
For what you wish for.
Just
Be
kidding.
careful what you manifest.
Exactly. Be careful what you manifest. But, I also try to tell people when they're in that dark mindset and they find themselves in this kind of habit, as you mentioned, I agree with that, Lisa. It does turn to a habit if a person has been doing this for so long and starts to manifest more negativity onto themselves. A simple little thing that I say is to remember that the mind is a terrible master, but a wonderful servant.
Oh, I love
I
that.
love that. That's really
Mhm.
cool.
It takes a second to process what it means.
It did. Yeah. That's really true. That's true.
But it
It
is
is.
true. So, the purpose I tell people of the mind is, we hand our brain, basically the brain is responsible to assist us in solving problems, basically figuring stuff out,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and we are supposed to be commanding it to do that for us. But somehow, sometimes that script gets flipped on us.
Yeah.
And when our brains start telling us what to do, and we become reactive to these random negative thoughts, the brain is like a car without a driver.
Yeah. Or a drunk
Taking
driver.
us places that
Mhm.
we don't want to go.
Drop.
Yeah, and it starts spinning in circles and all of that. So we have to remember always, and we have the power to do that, to get the reins of our life, our
We do.
minds, get
We
the
do.
reins, and when these negative intrusive thoughts start popping up, we have the power to observe that thought and ask ourselves, well, is this actually serving me?
Yeah.
This negative, or is it, is this sabotaging me?
Right. I have a question for you. How would you help someone who has kind of obsessive negative thinking or obsessive fears, and they obsessively they know they're aware of their circular thinking and their obsessive thinking, but like they can't stop? What would you suggest would be a good way to get out of that habit? And
Good question.
Start
and so,
thinking about what they're grateful for.
oh yeah, it's a great answer. Yeah.
Mhm.
I work with people like that all the time. And I'm not I actually walk with the person through the process to help them get out of that.
Yes. It takes time.
Yes.
Takes
And
time.
we go into examining why this is happening in the first place.
Right.
Right.
Which
Get the root to it. Get the root to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got to get to the root of it to understand why the person is reacting or feeling this way. So it's very important to understand, because that can be very enlightening and healing also.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's a part of the process. And then I work together with someone and just kind of walk them through. It's not a one size fits all type thing. Everybody's different in their own way.
You're right. Yeah.
So, there's not like, okay, so this is thing here, this list of instructions and tools is going to work for everybody.
So basically, yeah, but
not
that's a really good
necessarily.
general way of putting it. Just, get to the root, and each person heals it differently when it comes to something like that. That's so extreme. If it's
Exactly.
extreme, it takes over everything sometimes for people,
So usually in these cases, I've never met one that I haven't advised to, get a crystal or a stone or something and hold on to it. And as soon as you open your eyes in the morning, think of two things you're grateful for.
Okay.
Whether you've got to repeat those same two things or change them up every single day, however you want to do it, we are all blessed.
Yeah.
All of us have something to be thankful for.
Yeah.
True. I'm
That
grateful
is
for
very
my
true.
cats. My cats are over there making noise. So they're just letting me know what to be grateful for.
Sure. But if you really sit down and really stop to think about how blessed you are,
makes you feel good.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And how
It really
many
helps.
miracles and how many prayers and wishes did come true.
Yeah. True.
But we're all work in progress.
And the blessings in disguise. Don't forget those.
100%.
Yeah.
I read somewhere someone said sometimes we don't know how the bad luck protected us from something, maybe that bad thing that happened, and we do that, and then we reflect back, well, I'm glad that didn't work out because look what would have happened if it did.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Is my point on that.
That is so true.
That is true.
Yeah. Time shows us everything.
It does. Yeah. Reflection does too. And it gets funny when I reflect on things that have happened, say when I was 20, and then when I was 30, look back at when I was 20, and when I was 40, look back at when I was 20. I kind of look at it differently too, through different lenses.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what I thought of 20 at 30, but 46, I can almost 47, I can remember.
Well, I agree with that. Like every decade, we kind of reinvent ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
We've lived a little bit more our life. Yeah.
Our experience, we have new knowledge, experience, all that good stuff. It's tough though. It's all tough. But like we were discussing, if you think about the stuff that you wanted in your life when you were a teenager or whatever, and that heartbreak and that boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it was, and then 10 years passed, and you look back, oh geez.
Yeah, it was so distressing.
What was I thinking?
Yeah. Because a lot worse happens.
I always say, I wish I knew then what I know now. I mean, I wish I did.
No truer words were ever spoken.
And the other one is the youth is wasted on the young. That's the other one that goes with that, Misty.
That's that is a good one too. So so that's the manifesting. That's all what that
is really great. Thank you. I think that'll help out a lot of people because I've tried it. It does work. What you're talking about with the candles and stuff.
It does.
And
I'd love for people to follow that. That would be great if your listeners,
I bet they'll try it. It's funny you brought that up because I just did a candle working podcast like a few days ago. It's like one of the last ones I did. I think it was like 2 episodes ago. I did one about candles, and so that's really good timing there. Now they can put it to use.
I make my candles too.
Oh, cool. I do make some, but not like I can't make tapers. I'd love to be able to do that.
Tapers are tough. See that? How they do that thing? Yeah.
I know, right?
Not easy. But I make all kinds. The favorite wax that I have is the beeswax. I love that.
I love beeswax too.
Beeswax.
Have you ever gotten those strips, the sheets of beeswax?
Yes,
and rolled
I have.
them up? I love
those.
I have. I love those so much.
They're awesome. So so I do that. I make candles for people, and I actually have a little shop here in Philadelphia.
Oh, you do? What's it called?
It's actually, I call it, I'm putting the name on it now and kind of redoing everything. Mystical charms and things.
Oh, I love
I like.
that. That's so
Yeah.
wonderful.
It's
That's
going to be
great.
a little tough for the name change because everybody knows me now here as psychic reading expert. So, and Christine Wallace, but all of that is kind of separate from the boutique itself. So I'm just kind of,
It's gonna be great. Oh,
yeah,
that's really
calling the
wonderful.
shop one thing and my service is another.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Do you ever do
providing it,
services for
yeah.
people outside of the Philadelphia area? Like, where could listeners find you if they wanted to learn more about you?
Oh, absolutely. You can go to my website, psychicreadingexpert.com, or just search my name, Christine Wallace. I also have a podcast of my own, which is Psychic Christine and Psychic Christine podcast. And you'll find it there on iTunes and all those fun places. It's out there. And yeah, if you want to have a reading or check out my products and services worldwide, nationwide, I do Zoom readings as well. So it's not a problem at all to get a service done for me if you're long distance.
That's awesome. Thank you. Misty, did you have any questions for Christine?
Well, I love, to talk about manifestation, but here's a question for you. So, should people start out when they're trying to do this? Should they start out small, or and work their way up, or should they just go ahead and go for the big guns?
I think that a person should do what they're comfortable with, what feels right to them initially. But my general opinion on that is to start small and work your way up.
Okay, and another question. Let's say that I did the candle one. Okay. I've heard people say that you have to constantly, at least every day, have this visual in your mind of what you want. Do you have to do that every day, or could you just do the candle that one day and just put that intention out to the universe and be done with it?
Well, that's why I usually use a big candle, because every time we light up that candle, we are re-energizing that manifestation that is already going out into the universe. So we don't have to force ourselves to keep up that visual.
Okay. So tell me, what are the things that you have manifested that you want to tell us about?
Oh my God, I think I've manifested everything.
What
have I not manifested? What have I manifested? Well, in my meditation, I do a lot of work for people. So I have to say that I have, through manifestation, brought, Mr. Right to some of my clients. I have definitely manifested getting people out of that negative, dark mindset.
Good, yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, people have definitely walked out of here feeling more renewed and better than they came in.
Oh.
I have manifested, success professionally, career-wise, by advising and helping them to manifest what they want to achieve and the material stuff with their goals. So, a lot of people think that maybe it's wrong to want material success or something like that. I don't agree with that.
No, that's a negative abundance mindset.
Exactly. So, the goal is basically to focus on having abundance in your life. I mean, none of us like to worry, and none of us really need to worry if we're strong spiritually.
Yeah.
Because we believe that a door will be open for us.
Yeah, and it always does if you believe in it. Will. Sometimes if I don't believe it will, and I have enough friends, and especially psychic friends who want that to happen, it will anyway. And if I'm still negative. the manifestation can help with other people's
This is
intentions
true.
towards it, my friends.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that, because
Yeah.
that does work. They don't have to necessarily wish to manifest, but we can also help to manifest for others.
Right,
I love
right.
that.
Yeah.
And I have actually manifested all of this stuff that I'm doing right now, where I wanted to create a whole basically psychic spiritual service center almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Where whatever a person is looking for, they're going to be able to get it here.
Cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
You want a reading, you're going to get it here. You want an aura cleanse, it's going to happen here. You need candles, you need crystals, it's all here.
That's
So
cool.
so people don't have to bounce around. And I'm also working on upcoming events as well on
Oh,
my
cool.
I'm doing a Zoom event May 15th, which is a healing event. And I'm also doing a tea and tarot garden
Ooh.
party June
Ooh,
21st. Yeah.
Ooh,
We're
that's
going to
awesome.
have
that sounds fun.
vendors and do tea and tarot readings.
Oh, fun.
There's going to be a meditation class. I'm looking for a speaker as well.
Yeah.
I know a
I've got
speaker
that.
who can do meditation stuff, and she loves to speak, so we can talk about that
Oh
afterwards. if you want.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
amazing.
Send
She's
in
amazing.
whoever you know. Yeah, I'm happy to add people, bring people on board.
So at this point, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app. You can get advice from psychics and empaths at everclear.com, so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And Christine, do you have any advice to anybody just starting out manifesting? Just like they just heard this podcast and they've heard of it before and they want to try, like maybe they don't know, maybe they don't have a negative mindset or a positive. It's just kind of like,
Curious. Yeah.
like the everyday man, in the book.
Mhm.
Sure. Well, you heard what I said earlier about the candles. The colors are important. The color of the candles. And you can just simply look online to find the different meanings of the candles. Basically, pink is for love, and yellow is for abundance, and green is for money. You just get think about what it is that you're looking to manifest, get the matching color candle, and take your time. Move slow. It doesn't all have to happen for you right then and there.
Good
And
point. Good
let
point.
the spirit kind of guide you.
There is some frustration when people first start trying this because they want it to happen like the next day or, that night or maybe they're still flexing those muscles and they haven't, so they give up sometimes if it doesn't work right away. But that's a
Well,
very good point. Take your time. Yeah.
Let's talk about time, okay, and how long it takes for manifestation to really come to fruition.
Yeah.
This is where trusting the universe comes in, and trusting in a higher power, that there is something out there greater than us, and trusting that, like I said, the universe will rise up to support us. So we also have to believe in divine timing. You don't want the right thing to come at the wrong time.
Yeah.
That's true.
Very true.
Yeah, because sometimes we're not necessarily prepared to receive that blessing or whatever it is that we're trying to manifest.
And we don't know it. Yeah.
Bingo. So the universe will bring it to us when we're ready for it.
Right.
Okay. And of course, like I said earlier, when it's in our head and we're kind of manifesting it and we're getting this visual without us even realizing, we're making that call,
Right.
moving toward the goal. Our body is moving in the direction of reaching that goal without sometimes being conscious. Most of the time, I don't think we're even conscious of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And the
there,
doors
too.
opening up and making somehow out of the clear blue sky a connection to someone that knows someone, and then before you know it, the wheels are starting to move.
Right.
Love
That
it,
takes
yeah.
time too.
It does
Yeah.
take
And
time.
it takes time for that to build up. Have I seen things happen in a week? Absolutely. Absolutely. Could it happen? Sure. Can it take a month, a year? Absolutely. But usually, everything that a person manifests, I have found, generally speaking, happens like within a period of 2 years.
Okay.
Okay. That's a good
really cool.
timeline.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's a good,
that's the big
it's
stuff, it
actually a very
sounds like.
sensible kind of timeline
Yeah.
too. I have made that observation.
Yeah, that's cool. I like
That's a
that.
good yeah, I like that too.
All right. So yeah, Christine, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really enjoyed it as always. And Misty, thank you, of course.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
And
having
listeners,
me.
thank you for listening as always. We
Yes.
love you. And I guess that's a wrap, my friends. Thank you
Wrap
again
it up
and again and again. And have a nice day.
again. Oh wait,
See you
one more
later.
time.
Oh wait, one more time.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.